This is Megan.
And that's Amanda. Being a book lover, I have this dilemma where I always want the people I like to read the books that I like, but people are busy and they like to choose their own books, so it doesn't often happen. So last year for Christmas, I asked some of my closest friends, including Amanda, to read a book of my choosing for me for Christmas, and Amanda liked the idea, and so we actually ended up swapping books for Christmas. So today we're going to review the books that we read for each other, and then we're going to give each other the books that we've chosen for each other for this year, for Christmas.
So the book Megan had me read was The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart. And I really liked it. I didn't read it until the summer when I was abroad. And it was really great. It's about Merlin. I really loved how this was about, like, Merlin's childhood and his growing up. The only thing that I think kind of bugged me is when they talked about moving the standing stones. Merlin figured out how to, like, set up these places, you know, kind of like Stonehenge, and he was like, oh really, it's so simple, but she never describes it, and I don't know, I just felt like it was this weird way of her getting out of describing some theory on how Stonehenge was built. It was weird, but it was a really tiny part of the book. I would give it 5 out of 5 stars.
Amanda chose for me this book, The Harmless People, by Elizabeth Marshall Thomas, which she talked about in her 10 most influential books tag. I started it at the beginning of the year, but I didn't finish it until just last week. Elizabeth and various members of her family are in South Africa studying Africa's last tribe of hunter-gatherers. Throughout the first half of the book, they're with this tribe of Bushmen called the Jikwe. And then in the second half of the book, they're with a tribe of Kung Bushmen. The stories that she relates about both these tribes of Bushmen are really interesting, really fascinating. They bring you right to Africa, right into the deserts, and you get to know all these families and their sort of extended families. Another thing that I liked about the book was the stories that weren't told. I guess kind of like the negative space of the book, which is the story of Elizabeth Marshall Thomas herself and this group of Americans that she's with. She doesn't talk about the people who are with her, she doesn't tell their story or create her own narrative out of it. She just tells, like, what happens. Even though it took me all year to read it, I give Amanda's choice for me 5 out of 5 stars also.
Now we are going to present to each other the books that we have picked this year for the other one to read. And for Megan, I have picked The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. I read a few of these stories in a science fiction and fantasy class I took in junior high, and then I read the entire thing like a year or so ago. I really love it. I really love Ray Bradbury. I love the sort of like 20th century science fiction world.
The past's imagining of the future.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to read it.
And I chose for a mountain. I chose for Amanda My Side of the Mountain, which I read a couple years ago, and the whole time I was reading it, I just thought of Amanda and how much she would love this book, because I think of you as this person who is ready at like a moment's notice to just leave normal life and
become a bushman.
Become a bushman, yeah. Just move into the wilderness and teach yourself how to live off the land and tame a hawk and... Sorry, I gave that away. It happens pretty quickly though. So
I've seen the movie.
He's on the cover.
So.
Oh man, she's seen the movie.
But I've been wanting to read the book ever since I saw the movie, and this is actually, I actually do own this book. This is my copy.
Yeah,
right
this
here.
is not my copy. Although, this isn't Amanda's fault that it's so beat up.
Okay, yeah. Okay, look at these books. I promise I am not mean to buy books. I just buy a lot of second-hand or third-hand or fourth-hand copies of books.
Yeah.
Because they're cheap.
I know you will love it. Well, I hope you will love it.
I'm pretty sure I will. That's our 2015 book swap.
Yep.
And depending on how quickly we finish these books, maybe we might like start doing it quarterly or something.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
If you need Christmas gift ideas for yourself, tell people to read a book you recommend.
Bye.
Oh, yay! There are so many things I didn't mention about this. Phil, the cook.
I don't know how to give book reviews.